וירקידם כמו עגל, לבנון וסריון, כמו בן רעמים. קול אדוני חוצב להבות אש, קול אדוני יחיל מדבר, יחיל אדוני מדבר קדש. קול אדוני יחולל איילות, ויכסוף יערות, ובהיכלו כולו, כולו אומר כבוד. אדוני למבול ישב, וישב אדוני מלך לעולם. אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. You may be seated. And we turn to page 21 for Lecha Dodi, and we will sing the first two stanzas and the last two stanzas. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishmi'anu el hamyuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad, v'shemu tiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelecha, ki mekor habaraka, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof maseh b'machshavat chila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Yaminu smol tifrotzi, be'et Adonai ta'aritzi, al yadish ben parzi, v'nismecha v'nagila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'tzola, toch emunei am sekulam. Boi chala. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. You may be seated. And we will recite Psalm 92 on page 23. We will recite it in English responsively. A song for Shabbat. It is good to acclaim Adonai, to sing your praise, exalted God, to affirm your love each morning and your faithfulness each night, to the music of the lute and the melody of the harp. Your works, Adonai, make me glad. I sing with joy of your creation. How vast your works, Adonai! Your designs are beyond our grasp. The thoughtless cannot comprehend. The foolish cannot fathom this. The wicked may flourish, springing up like grass, but their doom is sealed, for you are supreme forever. Your enemies, Adonai, your enemies shall perish. All the wicked shall crumble. But me you have greatly exalted. I am anointed with fragrant oil. I have seen the downfall of my foes. I have heard the despair of my attackers. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. They shall grow tall like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they will thrive in the courts of our God. They shall bear fruit even in old age. They shall be ever fresh and fragrant to proclaim, Adonai is just, my rock in whom there is no flaw. 4 lines from the bottom of the page in the Hebrew. Tzaddik ata amar yifrach kerez balavanon yizkeh shetulim beveit Adonai bechatrot Eloheinu Yafrichu Od Yedun B'Seva Eshenim Bera'ananim Yiyu Le'agid Ki Yashar Adonai Tsuri Tsuri Velo Avlatamo. Page 24, we will again read Psalm 93 in the English responsively. Adonai is sovereign, crowned with splendor. Adonai reigns robed in strength. You set the earth on a sure foundation. You created a world that stands firm. Your kingdom stands from earliest time. You are eternal. The rivers may rise and rage. The waters may pound and pulsate. The floods may swirl and storm. Yet above the crash of the sea and its mighty breakers is Adonai our God supreme. Your decrees, Adonai, never fail. Holiness befits your house for eternity. Adonai liorech yamim. It is at this point in our service when we share Todot, those things that we are particularly grateful for in the last week, or perhaps something we're looking forward to in the coming week. So I will break the ice and offer up that my grandson, Micah, who's 15, he's a freshman in high school, and he took the PSATs and got the 3rd highest score in his school.
Wow.
He was the only 9th grader in that top 5 or whatever. So the other 2 that got higher scores were in higher grades. So we're very proud of him. He's yeah. Anybody else want to share? Yes, Ira.
Oh, you don't have to come back.
Oh, sure I do. Sure I have to come back.
My sister came down from Virginia and we had a nice couple of days together. So it was nice. I haven't seen her in 2 or 3 years.
Very nice. That is something to be thankful for. Anyone else? Yes.
My granddaughter pooped in the potty.
Your granddaughter pooped in the potty for the first time.
2.5.
Very good.
She
Awesome.
called me and she said, I pooped in the potty, Grandma. So it was the best call.
You know,
I thought I'd share
it's
that.
the little things that. That's what I love about the very young children is everything is new. Everything is an adventure, and when I was student teaching, that was what I enjoyed the most was the little kids. And, you know, anything you did with them was like, you know, it was a great thing. So,
You know, my father told me when I could poop in the potty all of the time that I could have a dog. And I never got a dog growing up. I'm not sure what that meant.
so your
But I have
your
a dog
incentive
now.
for
I have
pooping
a
in the
dog
potty
now.
all the time was to get a dog, but you never got the
I
dog.
never got the dog.
And so
what-
you
logically-
still hang on to that. Is that?
Logically, what does that mean? Does that mean I never did that, or I'm not sure. But
I
I
think-
have a dog now.
Oh, good, you have a dog now. That's
Yeah.
good. You had to fulfill your
And
own
I'm
dreams.
grateful for my new bicycle.
Oh, you're grateful for your new bicycle.
And I'm also grateful that when I fell off my new bicycle last weekend, I didn't break anything.
You didn't break anything when you fell off your new bicycle,
On
and you didn't
me.
break and you didn't break the bicycle.
Well, I broke the mirror on the bicycle, but I can replace that.
Yeah, yeah. And don't they have mirrors that you could put on your helmet?
I put it on the left
Yeah.
side of the, not of the helmet, but of the handlebar.
So you just need to practice more with the new bicycle.
No, I'm good. I needed to watch myself on the new equipment instead of assuming I could do the same thing on the new equipment as I did on some other equipment.
Okay. Okay.
It's still a good thing.
It is indeed. So for everyone that shared, I'm going to ask you to rise and join me with the Shehechianu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, who rules the universe, granting us life and sustaining us and allowing us to reach this day. And we say, Amen. You may be seated, and we will also say a Mishaberach for those who are ill in our community. So I'll direct you to turn to the back cover of your Sidurim, and where we can find Debbie Friedman's Mishaberach, and we'll sing together. Mishaberach Avoteinu Mikor Abracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Anybody have any names?
Eva Gottlieb.
Anyone else? Judy Ayers, Teresa Calla, Audrey Dash, Ross Dutton, Loretta Scher, Michelle Gurovich, Marie Schaffner, Arlene Schreck, Leslie Schulsinger, Katrina Williams, Mona Bachov, Rob Seltzer, Leibel Ben Margalit, Liebe Shlomit Rachel Bat Margalit, Feivel Shlomo Ben Devora, Israel Ben Etel, Sean Nichols, Colton Nichols, Jackson Nichols, Herb Weissman, Suzette Weissman, Herb Bennett, and Claudia Young. Yisheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We continue with the Ma'ariv service for Shabbat on page 28. We begin with Kriyat Shema. Begins with Baruch Hu. Please rise. Page 28. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed. You may be seated. Umavir yom umehivi laila, umavdil ben yom uvein laila. Adonai tzvaot shemo, el chai v'kayam tamidim lo chaleinu leolam vaed. Baruch ata Adonai, amari v'aravim. Page 29. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael amchavta Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limata Al kein Adonai Eloheinu v'shokveinu v'kumeinu נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם בלילה, יומם בלילה. ואהבתך תעשי ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. Page 30. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מידותיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוקבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. Continue quietly with the second paragraph of the Shema on page 30, and then we'll join together with the third paragraph on the next page. 31. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor daber el bnei Yisrael v'amarta lehem yasu lahem tzitzit al kanfei bigdehem l'dorotam v'natanu al tzitzit hakanaf b'til techelet v'haya lachem l'tzitzit uritem oto וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם אשר אתם זונים אחריהם למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת באמונה כל זכותכם. Page 32. Middle of the page. Umahuto b'ratzon kibalu aleihem Moshe v'nei Yisrael lechanu shira v'simcha rabav yamru chulam mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh norati lot אוסף אליהם מלכותך ראו בניך בוקע ים לפני משה זה לי אנו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. We turn to page 33 and we'll read in the English. Help us, Adonai, to lie down in peace and awaken us again, our sovereign, to life. Spread over us your shelter of peace. Guide us with your good counsel. Save us because of your mercy. Shield us from enemies and pestilence, from starvation, sword, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, O God, who watches over us and delivers us, our gracious and merciful ruler. Guard our coming and our going. Grant us life and peace now and always. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Praised are you, Adonai, who spreads the shelter of peace over us, over all God's people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Page 34, we rise for Vishamru. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ויעלמה דברה קירותי, וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בגלה, בגלה, ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן, ישמי רבה מברך, לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי קודשה בריחו, לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה, ואמרו Amen. We begin the Amidah for Shabbat Ma'ariv on page 35b quietly to ourselves, and the Amidah concludes on page 38. When you have completed your devotion, you may be seated. Ose shalom libromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'yakol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'yakol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'yakol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'yakol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'yakol Yisrael. We turn to page 47 and rise for the pseudo repetition of the Amidah. Vayechulu, page 47. Vayechulu hashamayim ve'aretz v'chol tzevam vaychal Elohim bayom hashvi melachto asher asa vayishpot bayom hashvi mikol melachto asher asa Vayvarech Elohim et yom hashvi vaykadesh oto Kivo Shabbat mikol melachto Asher bara Elohim lasot Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak Ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Konei Shamayim Va'aretz, Magen Avot bidvaro, Mechayei Meitim b'mamaro, Ha'el HaKadosh she'ein kamohu, Hameniach le'amo, B'yom Shabbat kodsho, Kivam ratza le'aniach lahem, Kivam ratza le'aniach lahem, Lefanav navod b'ira v'fachad, V'nodei lishmo b'chol yom tamid, Me'on habrachot, El ha'odahot, Adon ha'shalom, Mekadesh ha'shabbat, U'mvarech shavi, U'meniach b'kedusha, Ve'amedu shnei oneg, Zecher Lema'aseh, Lema'aseh v'reishit. We turn to page 48 and read together in the English. Our God and God of our ancestors, find favor in our Shabbat rest. Instill in us the holiness of your mitzvot, and let your Torah be our portion. Fill our lives with your goodness, and gladden us with your triumph. Cleanse our hearts so that we might serve you faithfully. Lovingly and willingly, Adonai, our God, grant that we inherit your holy Shabbat, so that the people Israel, who hallow your name, will always rest on this day. Praised are you, Adonai, who hallows Shabbat. V'anchilenu Adonai Eloheinu, v'ahava v'ratzon Shabbat kodshecha, v'anuchu v'Yisrael mekadeshei shemecha, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat. You may be seated. Middle of page 48 for Kaddish Shalom. Yikara v'yikara shmei rabba, v'yalma divra kirutei, v'yamlech makutei, v'chayichon, v'chayedem bo be'Yisrael, v'hagala b'zman kari v'yimru, Amen, yehi shmei rabba b'varach, le'alam u'la'alamei alamaya yitbarach, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei rekutsha b'richu, le'ela mikol bechata v'shirata tush bechata v'nekamata, da'amiran v'alama v'imru, Amen. Titkabal tzlotahon uva'otahon, Techo Yisrael kodam avohon devishmaya v'imru, Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yako Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, u'yaseh shalom, aleinu v'yako Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. In this week's Parsha, Parshat Terumah, the Mishkan, the traveling house of God built by the Israelites in the desert, is an elaborate structure built of royal and expensive materials. Reading the passages that describe its construction, we could easily be led to ask, what does such a grandiose and this worldly building have to do with God? Yet the Mishkan is the epitome of divine presence. The word Mishkan means dwelling place, and is also inherently connected to the word Shekhinah, presence. The Mishkan is the essential place of the Shekhinah, God's presence in this world to us. About the Mishkan, God says, "They shall make a sanctuary for me, so that I may dwell among them." Parashat Terumah opens with an elaborate list of the materials that will be used in the building of the Mishkan and instruments within. Gold, silver, and copper, and turquoise, purple, and scarlet wool, linen and goat hair, red-dyed ram skins, tahash skins, acacia wood, oil for illumination, spices for the anointment, oil and the aromatic incense, shoham stones, and stones for the settings, for the ephod and the breastplate. About the aforementioned wood, the Midrash Tanhuma on Parshat Terumah teaches that Jacob received a prophecy that his descendants, while in the desert, would be instructed to build a Mishkan, a dwelling place for God. He subsequently planted saplings in the land of Israel and instructed his children to diligently transplant them to Egypt. By making this wise decision, Jacob prepared a whole forest that would later supply the Mishkan with at least 800 cubic feet, or 20 tons of usable wood. Jacob longed to participate in the building of the house of God and took the necessary action to ensure his own involvement. Perhaps more significantly, Jacob's actions express the teachings of our sages. Who is wise? Those who foresee the consequences of their actions. Jacob had the wisdom to project the need for large amounts of wood in the Sinai desert, an environment that could not sustain wood. He therefore looked ahead and created a sustainable solution for the sacred needs of the Israelites. We too must look ahead and ask ourselves if we are creating sustainable environments for the needs of our children, our grandchildren, and our great-grandchildren. Since the Industrial Revolution, our predecessors have not taken forest management seriously enough to warrant the respect that Jacob earned for his foresight. In fact, they and we have acted all too foolishly with the resources of God's creation. Humankind, and in particular the industrialized West, has imprudently plundered one of Earth's most precious and critical resources. Scientists give us some idea of what has been happening to the world's forests. Half of the Earth's land surface was once covered by forest. Yet now, half of those forests are gone. Of all the original forests that once covered the Earth, only 20% remain untouched in North America alone. Half of the coastal temperate rainforests that once stretched from Alaska to California have been destroyed and turning to the world's rainforests, somewhere between 750 to 800 million hectares of the planet's original 1.5 to 1.6 million hectares of mature tropical rainforests have been destroyed. Repercussions of such overuse and misuse include, in brief, an increase in the atmospheric carbon dioxide concentration, a major contributor to the greenhouse effect, distribution of the water, or disruption of the water cycle resulting in drier climates, soil erosion leading to the silting of watercourses, lakes, and dams, and the extinction of species that depend on the forest for survival. The Midrash also analyzes the choice of acacia wood in the construction of the Mishkan and explains that the Hebrew root for the word shittim, meaning acacia, shares the same root as the word shtut, meaning folly. A connection is made. By building the sanctuary out of this particular wood, we are reminded to rectify the folly that the children of Israel pursued with the sin of the golden calf. The Midrash's link between acacia and the golden calf presents a poignant connection to the current real-world correlation between deforestation and beef production. According to the Center for International Forestry Research, cattle ranching for beef has caused the majority of felled forests in Latin America. Tens of thousands of square kilometers each year. In the Brazilian Amazon alone, the total area of deforestation rose from 41.5 million hectares in 1990 to 58.7 million hectares in 2000. Forest area twice the size of Portugal was lost in 10 years alone. The overwhelming majority of that lost forest becomes pasture, and most of that pasture is used for grazing cattle, intended for eventual export on the international market. And in 2 or 3 years, the land is used up and must be replaced by more deforestation because rainforest soil is so nutrient deficient. Modern day beef consumption may thus represent the pursuit of our own material comfort at the expense of our forests. Careless and selfish deforestation is also caused by urban sprawl. To build new highways, to build larger homes than we truly need, and for endless amounts of packaging materials and paper goods. Natural resources such as forests are meant for us to use, but we must learn from Jacob how to use wisely, reuse, and replenish our natural resources. We must learn to avoid the shtut and use the shittim. The sanctuary served as a microcosm for greater world harmony and was a divine gesture to the children of Israel in response to the golden calf. We are given God's world and the material within in order to construct a house for God, one of peace, harmony, and sustainability. The world's resources are not here so that we may construct false gods which cater to our wants and desires. The moment that we misuse the physical and degrade the planet, we go against the spirit of the wooden sanctuary God commanded. We must ask ourselves, is God present in our consumption? If so, then even the most ostentatious and elaborate materials that were used in the construction of the Mishkan are warranted. But if we have no awareness of our actions, and our consumption is a product of the pursuit of golden and flashy gods of consumer society, then we have not created a dwelling place for God in our actions or in the world. Let us be blessed with the wisdom and the foresight of our forefather Jacob to provide sustainable and justifiable coexistence with the small remainder of God's forests. And let us establish an awareness of the preciousness that pervades our natural world. By doing so, we will herald in a new era of human consciousness, and God will build the third temple, as it is said, as a testament to our efforts. As the prophet Isaiah said, I will give the desert cedars, acacia trees, all kinds of civilization. Even in them will I give all kinds of wisdom, goodness. and peace. In order that they see and know and pay attention and understand together that the hand of the Lord did this, and the Holy One of Israel created it. Shabbat Shalom. We now come to page 49 for Kiddush. Have we already distributed, or are we distributing? Do we have just something, anything to distribute?
Yes.
Yes, okay, awesome. Oh, we are ahead of the game. Please rise, page 49. Thank you, Marcia. Birshut Chaverai.
L'chaim.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom tefillah l'mikra'ei kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim ki vanu v'acharta yotanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha Be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat. We turn to page 51 for Aleinu. Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגופי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אינו אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום בחשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד, ושמו This week we commemorate the yard sites of Florence Goldfarb, Max Maisman, Morris Meister. Do you have any other names? May the faith that binds us to our loved ones be a continuing source of comfort as we invite those who mourn and those observing yard site to praise God's name with the words of the Kaddish on page 52. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah v'alama divarak yirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayei chom u'vyomei chom u'v'chayei techol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'vizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya Yitvarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei l'kudsha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechamata da'amiran v'alama v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'romav, hu ya'asei shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Be seated. We have a few announcements. Tomorrow, Shabbat services begin at 9:30, and we have Torah reading tomorrow. So everyone who can come, please come. Sunday is another storage unit cleanup. I believe it's starting at 11, but I'm not quite sure. And then Monday is our 7:30 is our Hebrew reading 2 and Torah reading 101 classes. Wednesday is Mahjong at 1 o'clock. Thursday is our, at 3 p.m. is a CBA movie club, and at 7 p.m. is the Religious Affairs Committee meeting. And next Friday at 7:30 p.m. is our birthdays and anniversaries Shabbat. And I also want to announce that our website now is reflecting our entire 2023 calendar for the whole year. So if you have any questions about what is coming up, check the website first, because that's going to be right. As we change plans, we're going to change it first in the calendar. So that will be a new tool for all of us. Any other announcements that I've forgotten? I guess I didn't forget any. Okay, great. We will conclude with Adon Olam on page 54. Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra li'et nasa v'chepsa kol azai melech shemo nikra azai melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kichlot hakol levado yimloch nora ve'hu haya ve'hu oveh ve'hu yiyeh Tifara, ve'hu yiyeh b'tifara, ve'hu echad v'yein sheni le'am shilo le'achbira, v'li reshit v'li tachlit, ve'lo ha'oz ve'ha'misra, ve'lo ha'oz ve'ha'misra, ve'hu eli v'chai go'ali v'tzur chevli v'etzara, ve'hu nisi umanos li menat kosi b'yom ekra, menat kosi b'yom ekra, v'yado akid ruchi b'yet ishan v'ayiva v'im ruchi gaviyati Adonai li ve'lo lo ira, Adonai li velo ira. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Please join us for a little nosh in the back. Thank you.